I pulled him right out of the courtroom. Well, no, you're always dressed sharp, these lawyer types. Hey, it's Duane Randle with Price Randle Injury Attorneys here, Lake of the Ozarks. And man, Duane, it's hard to believe we're already headed into May, which means Memorial Day weekend. We're going to start seeing more traffic. And for you, that means a lot more increased people down here. And you guys have been focused in the last couple of years, especially the last year, on roadway safety, drive safe, boat safe. And so talk to us as we enter May, what you guys are focused on going into this season.
Well, traffic's definitely picked up, Will. You know, we're seeing it on the roads. We're definitely seeing it on the water. We want safe roads and safe waterways for everybody. You know, Matt and I, we live here at the lake. You know, we care about our community, and we don't like to see people get hurt. So that's why we really try to educate people about safety on the road and off the road.
Yeah, and with our Drive Safe, Boat Safe campaign, it's all about heightening awareness, because a lot of what we see in these, whether it's a car accident or something on the water, are whether it's impairment or distraction, we feel like by educating people's awareness and heightening their consciousness to those things. And so let's focus on roadway. One big thing that we hear MoDOT does is the buckle up, phones down. What is it about this new age where everybody wants to be on their phones when they're in their car?
Well, we just have to be distracted all the time now. You know, people can't go 5 feet without looking at their phone. Yesterday, I was driving to go get some coffee, and a car passed me. I'm going about 67 maybe in a 65 zone, pushing the limit a little bit. They're going by me at least 70, and they're texting. They're not looking at the road. They're driving a hunk of metal right down the roadway and not paying attention to their surroundings. And I think distracted driving is far more dangerous now than impaired driving.
Not that we promote that, but you're just looking at the numbers that you see come out every year. And so with that, we see the state of Missouri, even legislation, new House bills that are really combating that. And so what is it going to take for us to see people get off of their phones?
You know, I don't have an answer to that. I think just education, awareness, accidents, death, mayhem, destruction, all those things, you know, all of that is happening because people are more concerned about that little screen than they are about what's in front of them on the roadway.
And there's things that we see, they're tips, but there's always, like, before you get in your car, have your Bluetooth set, you know, like obviously you want to buckle up. That's another thing that in your line of work, how many times have you seen, or how important is putting on a seatbelt before you get behind the wheel of a car?
Extremely important. I've never had a death case where somebody was wearing a seatbelt, but we've had plenty where they weren't.
Yeah, what's the old adage is, right? And I think we've talked about this, is, oh, well, my buddy knows a guy who knew a
everybody's
guy.
got that story. Well, if he'd been wearing a seatbelt, he'd be dead. Well, those stories are garbage. They're crap. I don't believe them. They're outliers. It's not what the evidence shows. Seatbelts save lives.
There's no doubt about that. The stats show that. All right, so let's shift our focus a little bit to the water. We're Lake of the Ozarks, a unique place, so when people come down here, a lot of times they may not be experienced. They're going to want to go rent a boat, right, and get out there. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the things that you guys really want to tell people before they hit Lake of the Ozarks, whether it's their first time or they're a seasoned boater?
Well, obviously you want to know how to operate the boat. Hopefully if they're renting a boat, they're getting instructions on that. I think our local businesses that rent boats do a good job of that around here. And you have to watch out for the other people out on the water. You know, there's a lot of people on the lake every summer, and there's getting to be more and more of them. And between the jet skis and kayakers and these massive yachts that are on the water, it's a dangerous place out there.
Yeah, and like you said, man, you and Matt, you guys both live down here at the lake. You guys love to enjoy what the lake has to entail, but you like to do that responsibly. And so I'm excited that throughout the year, you guys are going to be doing a lot of different stuff. You guys are involved with high school sports. You guys are involved with shootout. But something that's new for you guys, and we don't want to tell them what we're going to do, but you guys have seen with Bike Fest and bikers that, man, that's something you guys really want to heighten awareness as far as, hey, look out for bikers. And so we're working on something pretty cool we're going to be doing together this year for Bike Fest. You guys are really wanting to focus on those bikes.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, a motorcycle accident, it doesn't work out very well for the rider. You know, they just don't have the protection of a vehicle, and what could be a minor accident could be fatal to a motorcyclist. So we've got to have other drivers out there watching for those motorcyclists, and we've got to have the people riding the bikes be careful too.
Yeah. All right. This is Duane Randle. Before we let him go, we've heard a little bit about things you can do and what's important about, hey, keep your head on a swivel, make good decisions. You want to have a great time this summer, so always remember to drive safe and boat safe. But I wanted to let you guys get to know Duane just a little bit. You said you're familiar with the lake, so tell us a little bit about Duane Randle before it came to Price and Randle Injury Attorneys. Just a few years.
A few years, huh? Well, I'm originally from Kansas. I've been here since 2006. My wife's family is from this area, so that's how I ended up here. And I didn't know what Lake of the Ozarks was, Will. I was like those people out there that think we're talking about Branson. So,
Yeah.
and here I am, 20 plus years at Lake of the Ozarks, and I love it here. The people are great. There's a lot of things to do. It's a beautiful area, and it's been a really good thing for me and my family.
Yeah, and what changes you've seen since first coming here, and you were like, man, the lake's crazy in '06, right? Well, it's a little different now, almost 20 years later, right?
Yeah, well, there's more boats, there's more cars, there's more people. It's a wild place sometimes.
All right, so if Duane Randle, not in the courtroom, where are we going to find you at Lake of the Ozarks on a day off?
On a day off, well, my kids show cattle and horses, and we do that. We've got livestock, and we get a lot of enjoyment out of that. So that's what we're doing.
And there's a lot of great land here in Lake of the Ozarks in the Tri-Lake area for that. Okay, last thing. What is your favorite Lake of the Ozarks event?
I'd have to say the shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that one.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a local event here, but it's a global event and offshore. But before I let you go, as far as people out there, they're like, hey, I want to find out more. I want to plug in with Price and Randle Injury Attorneys, or maybe they know someone and they need to find an injury attorney. You're not going to find anyone better. How can they plug in?
Well, obviously, we're online. Phone number 573-444-5555. PriceRandle.com. Google us, look us up. We've got some great information on our website. And if you ever have a question, even if it's not something we handle, give us a call. We'll try to find you the right lawyer.
That's awesome. That's our good buddy Duane Randle with Price and Randle Injury Attorneys. And don't forget, whether you're on the road or out on the water this summer, simple decisions truly can save lives. Drive safe, boat safe,